currently we are an AI generation, right? So these, AI influenced tools can scan n number of networks and can identify the vulnerability very easily.
Any best practices? How can they build up the robust infrastructure when we talk about, you know, environments, ecosystems like finance, where there's a lot of regulations involved?
From the security perspective, the first level of your security is your the security devices to protect your organization, like firewall, IPS, IDS, proxy, EDR, and there are n number of tools to protect your organization, right? And the second level of your defense mechanism is your monitoring system, say for SOC team, SIM, and ASM, attack surface monitoring, and the threat feeds. Okay, so the SOC team, we can integrate all your critical applications and your crown jewels and whatever the critical systems servers you can integrate and monitor it. And you can put it in a DMZ, demilitarized control, and you can implement the multi-factor authentication to all your critical applications. When we come to the event, it's happening, we are, meeting with several leaders and we are exchanging the ideas, and it gives us more ideas, how other organizations are working on, especially from the security perspective.
Vanakkam Chennai. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and we are in Chennai witnessing the latest edition of Emerge Tech, the Multicity Roadshow brought to you by the Mainstream. Today, I have the privilege to have this conversation with Mr. Dinesh Babu. He is the Chief Information Security Officer at Veritas Finance. Sir, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of the Chennai chapter.
Vanakkam. Yeah, it's a great privilege and honored to be a part of this wonderful event in this beautiful evening. And it's great to meet your people.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's dive right into the heart of the conversation. I want to know from a cybersecurity leader's perspective. We have been hearing a lot about AI. There are buzzwords around offensive and defensive strategies. Can you throw some light on how today's cybersecurity leaders or folks from security domain can, view cybersecurity architecture for businesses?
Yeah, these offensive and defensive mechanism plays very vital role in any organization, no matter you belongs to banking or finance or marketing or manufacture. So this plays a very vital role. Say, for example, currently we are an AI generation, right? So these, AI influenced tools can scan n number of networks and can identify the vulnerability very easily. So from the attacker perspective, this makes their work very easier, right? So I just talking about the attacker perspective and the defender perspective. So at one side, they have n number of tools to perform the attack, but the other side, the defender, it cannot be, given the manual traditional tools, the manual shields, right? So it has to be given. The defender also has to be given the advanced technology tools, right? So so now I know the artificial intelligence tools we are integrating. We are integrating tools with the AI tools and implementing many use cases to detect the suspicious attacks, and especially in the ransomware and in the phishing email. We are implementing the AI in email security, and we are implementing in network security, So it's changing dramatically the cyber world.
Right. That brings me to the next question. You have already led a panel on cybersecurity today. How do you view cybersecurity impacting various sectors, especially for finance, where there is a lot of compliance, a lot of regulations involved? How do you think CISOs or next generation of security leaders can, any best practices? How can they build up the robust infrastructure when we talk about you know environments, ecosystems like finance, where there's a lot of regulations involved?
From the security perspective, the first level of your security is your the security devices to protect your organization, like firewall, IPS, IDS, proxy, EDR, and there are a number of tools to protect your organization, right? And the second level of your defense mechanism is your monitoring system, say for SOC team, SIM, and ASM, attack surface monitoring, and the threat feeds. Okay, so the SOC team, we can integrate all your critical applications and your crown jewels and whatever the critical systems servers you can integrate and monitor it. And you can put it in a DMZ, demilitarized control, and you can implement the multi-factor authentication to all your critical applications. And it has some aspects like, parsing, normalization, aggregation, correlation. That is part of the SOC team. And the other part is like thread feeds. There are multiple thread feeds are available, like vendor-based thread feeds and the government-based thread feeds. For example, CISA, SANS, and certain. So you can register for that, and you will get the IOCs and the latest malicious malware details and vulnerabilities. So in those IOCs, you will have IPs and URLs so that you can block it in firewall and proxy. So these are all the mandatory things to implementing your incident response capabilities, detection capabilities. That is pretty much important, especially when it comes into the security domain. Because if anything is, nowadays there are n number of tools are openly available in the market. For example, hacking tools I'm talking about. There are a number of pre-written scripts and source codes are available in the market.
Right.
Example, DDoS as a service, ransomware as a service, and your PowerShell scripts, Python scripts. So using these, pre-written scripts and source code, even new breed of cyber hacker who knows the basics, tactics and techniques of attacks, they can log in into the websites, download the scripts, and they can, initiate a scan and identify the open ports, and they can easily identify the vulnerability, and they can compromise your network, they can compromise your attack. Of course, this is happening now. Okay,
Right.
this is very much possible. So to protect it from the current advanced cyber threats, yes, we need advanced tool. For example, from if you have SIM, you can move to SOAR, and from firewall to next gen firewall, and from EDR to other advanced tools. And having advanced tool alone, it will not protect your organization. With the people who is having good amount of knowledge, good amount of, with valuable use cases, only makes sense. Otherwise, you will be, end up in wasting times on a lot of false positive. So these are all the main things in security domains.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights across this, Mr. Babu. And lastly, I want to know from you, with platforms like Emerge Tech, where we have a lot of where we have a lot of industry leaders sharing their insights and their challenges, their top priorities around emerging technology. How do you think these platforms kind of, give that leverage to have that exchange of insights and challenges to what's happening in cybersecurity, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's finance, or whether it's, any other industry domain? Do you think these platforms are relevant?
Of course, there is no doubt about it. And you guys are, people are doing extremely fantastic well. In fact, as a security leaders, we are learning many things from your people. I mean, when we come to the event, it's happening. We are, meeting with the several leaders and we are exchanging the ideas, and it gives us more ideas, how other organizations are working on, especially from the security perspective. In office we simply sit in a room and we always committed with meetings and other tools and other teams, right? But this is the only opportunity for us. Yes, we can read books and magazines, but more than that, it gives a real experience and meeting people, not just people, meeting the expert leaders and domain experts and sharing their experience, sharing the knowledge. And it is fantastic experience. And I have to thank you for providing me this opportunity once again.
The pleasure is totally ours, and thank you too for joining us and being a part of this session. While we wrap up the Chennai chapter, I definitely look forward to connect with you again.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.